Hello everyone, welcome to the Wet at Work podcast. You're with your host Julian Leahy. Today I'm joined by the fantastic Chris, Lautenslager and Jeanette Lowry. Oh no!
We've not Jeanette Lowry.
No.
It's a good name.
Yes.
Good name.
Well, let's pretend that lovely picture was Ashton Rodenhiser. Ashton Rodenhiser, is that the correct pronunciation?
You got it. I'm impressed.
Okay,
good job.
Yes, just one more time. This is not Jeanette Lowry. Jeanette Lowry, it was wonderful, but it's not her. Anyway, continuing on in this highly professional outfit and podcast, we're going to play Jeopardy. And the way it works, you have to pick the categories. I'll go through the categories. Art and artists, Catholic stuff, which is more like Catholic trivia. You don't even have to be religious to get this one. Send celebrities' middle names, come in, title 9, so it's things with things with 9 in them, and travel. And because I have disgraced our second guest by getting her name correct, she can go first. Ashton Rodenhiser, what category would you like? Let's get the music on.
Let's do art and artists for 100.
Art and artists for 100.
Yes.
In 1956, Time magazine dubbed this abstract expressionist Jack the Dripper. Okay, now it's obviously a play on words. Now there was like a serial killer or something in England called Jack the Ripper, but they're talking about around in the 50s. There was an artist, and they made a little funny joke on his name, called him Jack the Dripper. And he's famous for making very messy paintings where he'd drip paint all over the place. That's my clue.
It's a good clue.
While drunk.
While drunk.
Yeah, dripping paint everywhere, all over the floor. There was a movie with the guy from... what was that movie where Jim Carrey was in a reality
Apollo 13. Oh.
Yeah, I think he's in that as well. He was in
in Apollo 13. I know the artist.
Oh, who's the artist? That's who we need. Oh, you mean you know the actor?
Oh, I know. Actually, I can visualize both, but I can't think of their name. So, but it's Abigail's turn, or Ashton's turn.
Well,
so
you can jump in if you
I'm
got
gonna
it.
let her work with that.
All right, I'm going to give the last clue. His first name, I believe, is Jackson.
Pollock.
You got it, I think.
Who is Pollock?
With few clues, but that's good. We've got to get things going, and now you're in control there, Chris.
Catholic stuff for 100.
Catholic stuff. Is this right up your alley? Sunday school?
No.
All right, served by priests, it may not exceed 18% alcohol.
What is wine?
Yes. Communion wine. Wine's fine. All right, Chris is on a roll. What would you like?
Catholic stuff for 200.
Okay. Title of any priest's immediate boss. The US has 270 of them.
What are Cardinals?
Do you want to have a go, Ashton, just in case he's wrong? Have a go. You got nothing to lose.
I don't know. I don't have any praise. What is the president?
No, what are bishops?
So which is the answer? Bishops or cardinals?
There's 270 of them. It would be bishops.
Oh, okay. You got it. Well done.
I did before we recorded, I did warn everyone how bad at this.
You did.
You're doing great.
Doing great. Luckily, I don't take points off like the real game. Otherwise, you go negative. So think of that. Think of the upside. Would you like 300 for Catholic stuff, Chris?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll continue to pray.
Okay, let us pray. The priest's duty to keep your sins secret is traditionally protected by the sanctity of this booth.
What is the confessional booth?
The confessional. This is giving me memories of primary school. The confessional is correct. 300.
Let's continue to go down the road.
Let's continue down the righteous path. Parish priests have their own one of these. John Vianney. John Vianney. Parish priests have their own one of these. It'll be some sort of outfit that they thing that they wear. I think.
Schmock. I think it's probably the funny hat, but I don't know.
Funny hat, yeah. I'm gonna go with the schmock. You want to have a crack, Ashton?
What is a robe?
Patron. Oh, they've got their own patron saint. I get you. So they get allocated one of those. Okay, you're still in control, Chris.
Come in. 100.
A new design or creation, necessity is often the mother of it.
Invention. What is invention?
Invention is correct. Well done.
You're doing so good, Chris. That's awesome.
I've had 2 cups of coffee. You see,
You're locked and loaded. Chris, what would you like?
And loaded. Come in for 200.
Come in for 200. Be it a stick or cone, strawberry and sandalwood are popular fragrances of this.
What is
What is
it?
Incense? Go ahead, Ashton.
That's what I was gonna say.
All right, I think
She
you
was
were going to
first.
say it, and you sort of held your tongue, but I believe
She
you got
did.
it. So I'm going to give it to you.
I agree.
You guys are too nice.
Well, we love the ladies. The ladies don't love us.
Let's do travel for 100.
Travel for 100. Let's have a look. Ashton is in the hot seat. This Rome landmark is 620 feet long by 513 wide. Plenty of room to run away from a wild beast. Rome landmark. Colosseum. Let's have a look. The Colosseum is correct. Well done, Ashton. She's alive and she's got 300 points. Ashton, you can do it. I believe in you.
Let's do travel for 200.
Travel for 200. Gamblers will love to know that the Hotel Yak and Yeti in this Nepalese capital houses the 2-story Casino Royale from James Bond. Interesting. Gamblers will love to know that the Hotel Yak and Yeti in this Nepalese capital. What's the Nepalese capital? Oh,
What does Kathmandu?
yes, that was the one. It was on the tip of my tongue. Kathmandu is correct. Well done, Chris. You're in control.
Catholic stuff for 500.
Catholic stuff.
Ooh.
This spiritual director doesn't arrange your holiday, but he helps young men pursue their calling to the priesthood. Oh, cringe.
Cringe is right.
He helps young men. Doesn't arrange your holiday. What does that mean? Young. I don't know. I want to get rid of this category.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at the answer. A vocation director. All right. Fortunately, we've got no more Catholic questions left. Chris, you're still in control.
Come in for 300.
Come in for 300. A military badge of rank or qualification. What are those things on the arms?
Oh, what's an insignia?
Let's take a look. Insignia is correct. Chris, have you been in the military?
I have not.
Okay. Well done. Because I was going to say stripy things. And what would you like, Chris?
Come in for 400.
Come in for 400. Each Latin verb has 6 of these, including the perfect passive one, like optatus esse, to have been desired. Come in. We don't even know what this category is. Each Latin verb has 6 of these, including the perfect passive one, like optatus esse, to have been desired. I have no idea what this is about. Have we done any questions in this category? Let's take a look. Infinitive. Okay, so it's inwards. Capiche?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you are now in control. Ashton, have a quick swig. Oh my God.
Let's do Title 9 for 100.
Title 9 for 100.
I don't know what this one means.
Daniel Okrent, 9 something, The Anatomy of a Baseball Game. Oh, this is easy.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
9. What is 9 pitches?
What's in a baseball game that's 9? How long does it take? It takes...
Innings.
9 innings, yes.
You got it.
So
You got it. You got it.
Chris, I think you got it.
No, give it to Chris.
I'll give it to
Give
Chris. All right, Chris, you're in control.
Title 9 for 200.
Title 9 for 200. John Buchan, filmed by Hitchcock, The 39. It's a Hitchcock movie. 39. 39
The 39 Lives?
lives.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. Steps. Okay.
Right.
You are still in control, Chris.
Travel for 300.
Travel for 300. This island's Matavati International Airport, the world's most remote, is serviced only by Chile's Land Airlines. Which island? Oh no.
What is Easter Island?
Let's take a look. Easter Island. Well done, Ashton.
Finally.
Well done.
That was 300. That was a healthy amount.
See, she lives on an island. She's got the whole island thing
she's
down.
the islander. It's your specialty.
Apparently.
Yes.
All I knew was Easter Island was off of Chile. That's all I knew.
Well, there you go. I did not know
That's
that.
all you needed to
All
know.
I knew is they
didn't
had
know it either.
giant, big head statues. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's do travel for 400.
Travel for 400, Ashton. Beautiful Margaret Island in this area has been a Budapest park for more than 100 years. Sorry, beautiful Margaret Island in this river, so it's a river we want, has been a Budapest. What's the river in Hungary?
No idea.
Oh, I know one that's in the area, but it might be in Russia, starting with a V. That's the only one I'm thinking of in that kind of Eastern Europe area. Sounds like an old lady. Volga. That's all I'm thinking. The Danube. The blue Danube. So that was that. Now, you're still in control. You got the Easter one correct. You got one more chance, Ashton.
Let's do celebrity middle names for 100.
Let's try that. Celebrity middle names for 100. The L in Samuel L. Jackson stands for this. Like a certain bad Mr. Brown of song. Now, that's strange
Ashton?
because Mr. Brown...
Is Leroy.
there you go.
Is that it?
So it was James Brown. He's the same as James Brown. The L in Samuel L. Jackson. Chris says it's Leroy, and I think Chris knows it is Leroy.
Nice.
Well done. Did the points go up, Chris?
I don't know.
I clicked.
I
the
can't
button.
see him.
Oh, okay. Trust me. All right, you're in control. You're in control, Chris. What would you like?
I would like art and artist for 200.
Art and artist for 200. This Dutch master served as chairman of the Delft Artists Guild from 1662 to 63 and 1670 to 1671. Now, when they talk about Dutch artists, the only one I can think of is the one that chopped off his ears. Is that guy Dutch?
Van Gogh is Dutch, but I believe this is Rembrandt.
Rembrandt. He was the one that did the blurry paintings. Let's take a look. Oh, Jan Vermeer.
Vermeer.
Okay. See, I'm not really
Okay.
au fait with the old art. You're still in control, Chris.
300 for art and artist.
Let's go 300. Art and artist. Aquarelle is a transparent rather than opaque type of painting as seen in Paul Klee's work Quarry. Aquarelle. Well, what is the question? Aquarelle
I don't know.
is a
is it?
transparent
Wait.
rather than opaque type of this type of painting. So it's what type of painting is it?
What is in caustic?
This is out of left field. Watercolor. Okay. That was a bit of a wordy question. Didn't like that one at all. All right,
let's go to travel for 500.
Travel for 500. You can buy samples of this fossilized resin at a museum devoted to it in Porto Plata, Dominican Republic. Have you seen Jurassic Park? What does he have?
What fossilized? I can't remember.
What does he have in his cane?
He has a mosquito.
And what's it in?
It's in resin. Fossilized resin at a museum devoted to.
It is, but what does the resin become?
Becomes a dinosaur. Oh,
much
no.
in the way that fossilized carbon becomes a diamond, fossilized resin becomes.
Oh, I'm with you now.
Stone, a kind of stone.
What do you do? What do you do at the traffic lights when you're not quite ready to drive?
Amber.
Let's have a look.
Nice one.
Amber is correct. Well done. Oh, 500.
Good one, Ashton.
Interesting.
All right, you're still alive, well and truly.
Okay,
you're
let's do come in for 500.
Come in for 500.
Go big.
So these are in words. Paul Apaks Angle, I cannot say that word, was producer as Canada's IBC, this broadcasting corporation. Paul Apaks Angle was a producer as Canada's IBC, this broadcasting corporation. So it's IN words. It sounds like a native name. Native Canadian name. Some sort of broadcasting corporation to do with Native Americans in Canada. That would be my guess.
What is indigenous?
Let's take a look.
I think that's right.
Inuit.
I was barking up the right tree.
Just saying, Inuit are indigenous people. So, just saying.
Just saying.
There's been a protest. Was Inuit,
I think she's looking for like half points. Can you give her 250?
Let's do that. I'll give you 200 points.
Don't do that.
Nice.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Now
and she's still in control.
Still in control.
Oh goodness. Title 9 for 300.
Title 9 for 300. Elizabeth McNeil, 9.5.
What is inches?
Whoa. Weeks. That was with Mickey Rourke and Kathleen something or other. Remember that movie? My mum.
He was.
My mum yelled at me because I rented it. Yes, steamy.
Steamy.
Okay, Chris.
What is? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Have
you
got 2 wrong now? I think.
Go ahead.
Let's
Chris.
just do Title 9 for 400.
Title 9 for 400.
Ashton was gonna do that anyways. I could see.
Jeffrey Toobin, the 9, inside the secret world of the. He had a book called The 9, inside the secret world of the. Isn't it the Isn't there a big 9 countries? I don't know. This does not ring a bell. We've got 10 seconds left. Inside the world of the elite would be my guess.
It's 2 words.
2 words, yeah.
True. Supreme Court.
Supreme Court. Oh,
okay.
Jeff Toobin. Celebrity middle names for 200.
Celebrity middle names for 200. Feel free to sing out this middle name of Martin Scorsese. It's the same as Pavarotti's first. Pavarotti is the rather large Italian opera singer who was part of the 3 tenors and passed away probably 10 or 15 years ago. And what was his first name? That is Martin Scorsese's first name. Middle name, sorry. It is a famous Italian name starting with an L.
What is Leonardo?
Luciani.
Luciano is correct. I will accept Luciani for Chris.
Close enough.
Chris, you're in control. What would you like?
Celebrity middle names, 300.
Celebrity middle names for 300. Arthur Hawthorne would approve of this middle name of Ralph Fiennes. So Arthur Hawthorne, whoever that is, would approve of this middle name of Ralph Fiennes. I don't know what Ralph Fiennes' middle name is at all. I don't know who Arthur Hawthorne is. Does anybody else?
No clue.
No clue. Let's just take a look at this one. Nathaniel Author. Oh, not sure who that was. All right, still in control. Chris.
Celebrity middle names, 400.
Celebrity middle name's 400. Her middle name is Louise. Her last name at birth, Ciccione. Okay, we need some clues on this one. Iconic singer from the 80s. Every album she would come out with a new look.
Who is Madonna?
Madonna is correct. Well done, Chris.
Wow.
Did you like my clue?
They were good.
Because I was going to say Material Girl, but that's just going to give it away.
It does. That gives it away.
Gives it away. All right, Chris.
So, celebrity middle names, 500.
Celebrity middle names, 500. This middle name of actress Mary Masterson makes us wonder if she was named for Mary, Queen of Scots. So she must have a Scottish middle name. What's a Scottish middle name for a lady? Mac something. Mary Masterson. Scottish. Let's take a look. Nothing's coming. Stuart. Yeah, that's very Scottish.
Ooh, that is.
That is. Okay, you're still in control. Christopher.
Title 9, 500.
Title 9, 500. J.D. Salinger, great author. 9 something. He also had Catcher in the Rye. J.D. Salinger, 9. I mean, I would think it might have to do with a football analogy. I've not heard of this book. That would be my guess. How many somethings in a down? Go the whole.
Well, no. There's four.
What are yards?
Let's take a look. Oh, stories. I was sending you up the wrong tree there. I'm so sorry. Okay, now I think it's now your turn, Ashton, to close it out.
Artist 400?
Artist for 400. Let's take a look. Andre Breton anagrammed this surrealist name as Avida Dollars. So, who is a surrealist, first of all? Would be the guy that did the melting clocks and all of those guys. What were they called? AD. Is that an anagram for somebody's name? Avida Dollars. The surrealist with the mustache. What was his name? Was it Picasso? No. The guy that did the dripping clocks. What was that guy's name? Oh, it's escaping me. Have you got it there, Chris? In the brain?
I have the picture of him in my mind, but I can't think of what his name is.
Dali. Salvador Dali.
Salvador Dali.
Oh, that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, you're right.
That one is correct. Well, that's weird. All right, you're still in control, Ashton. Last question.
Yep, go for it.
Go for it. This American female impressionist modeled for many of Degas' works, including At the Milliners. Female impressionist artist. We don't know who that is. Any idea? Mary Cassatt. That brings the game to an end. Well done, Chris. You have won the game, but also well done, Ashton, because you came back and didn't think.
I got a couple.
You did.
I got a couple. That's all right.
That's right, especially when you were saying you were going to get wiped out. You did not get wiped out. You played a very good game.
I got a couple. Just a few.
All right, let's loop back to Chris. Chris, tell us about the prosperity loop and what it is and what you're doing.
Happy to. So the prosperity loop itself is a book, which I wrote, which is about how small business owners can create wealth by having a positive approach to business in which they value their customers, they value their employees, they value their vendors, they value their community as part of their profitability. So instead of focusing solely on how do you make money, how do you reduce costs, how do you increase revenues, you actually focus on how you have a positive impact in your community. And that's what I'm all about, is to support small businesses and increasing the awareness of their importance and value in our society.
Interesting. And what are the benefits for? So it's about small businesses getting more involved in the communities that they're in.
It's actually us becoming more involved and committed to small businesses. So the book itself is helping small businesses. My organization, Get Looped, is a movement that is about creating an awareness to support and value small businesses and to appreciate small business owners. You know, Julian, they represent over half of the employed workforce within this country, the United States, and we forget the importance that they have in melding the fabric of our community. So I believe that small businesses are something that we need to actively support by being aware of how we spend our money. Every dollar that we spend can either be used to enhance our neighborhoods, our communities, our small businesses that are part of that, or it can be used to go send off to large corporations that, to be quite frank, really don't give a damn about you or I.
Right. And how do you see this as something that is inevitable to decline, or is it going to make a comeback, small businesses?
I actually think that people are yearning for connection, that we all went through, a historical experience in pandemic and being locked up and shut away and not allowed to be able to communicate and connect with each other. And I believe that we're all struggling with the repercussions associated with that. I want to remind people that there are alternatives to buying online, that there are alternatives to having products delivered to your home, and that it's in your best interest to support the connection that you have when you walk into the local restaurant, when you walk into the local bookstore, when you walk into the local store that provides cooking goods. These are people that care for you and want you to do well. So I encourage us to help them do well.
Yes, absolutely. And, we've gone through that whole phase of, the Walmarts and the big, in Australia, we've got like Woolworths and stuff. And like I was going there and buying my meat, and then I just got fed up one day because the stuff was just, they didn't care. It was mass produced. And I've gone back to the little Italian butcher that's been there for like 100 years. And, there's just much better products. And you trade off the convenience a little bit and maybe price. But I think there is definitely a movement back where we're thinking, hang on a minute, we don't want to lose what we had as far as some of these small businesses. That's just one example.
I would agree. And as you move forward in that type of approach, you experience joy. Shopping is not just about buying and selling stuff. Shopping is about the interaction between humans and the transfer of value. And so it's not just getting stuff for money. It's about getting value and connection as part of that process.
And so what do you do with Get Looped, Chris? Who do you help, and what are you looking to achieve with your clients?
So I do a number of things. I'm a professional speaker. If you'd like me to be able to come and do a speaking engagement, speaking about the value of small businesses and the importance of small businesses. If you'd like to learn about how, as a small business owner, you can use a value identification process to act as your guidepost to help create prosperity within your business, you can reach me at www.get-looped.com, which is get-looped.com. Would love to hear from you.
Wonderful. Yes, I'll put all of those URLs in the show notes if you want to have a chat to Chris or have him speak at your event. A small business event would be perfect, I think, Chris. Thanks very much. Some important information. Chris Lautenslager.
Thank you, Julian. And it was fun being on your show. Thank you.
I'm glad. That's the most important thing. Thank you. And over to Ashton. Ashton is a creative entrepreneur and great Jeopardy player.
Oh, you. First off, I just want to say I'm so fascinated in what you're doing, Chris. I've already sent you a connection request on LinkedIn. Because I agree with everything that you said as someone who owns and runs a small business. And I think all of those things are extremely important. And I think that's a very amazing mission that you're on to help communicate that to people, the importance of it. And I talk about my work as a live illustrator around how I help people build connections. So when I'm drawing out conversations in real time, it's about the information, it's about the people in the room and how they can connect to the information or the ideas that are flowing out of like meetings and conferences and things like that. So I primarily do that type of work for nonprofits up to Fortune 500 companies and everybody in between. But I also believe that like drawing has gotten a really bit of people think that drawing is something that they can't do, but it actually can be like your best thinking tool, and how we can use something as simple and non-threatening as a doodle to help us like connect with ourselves and information that we're listening to. So I consider myself a doodling advocate and encourage people to put pen to paper. And I also too have a book, Chris, The Beginner's Guide to Sketchnoting, which is how to draw your own notes and connect.
Tell us what is sketchnoting, Ashton. It's interesting.
Yeah, so as basically everything that I've learned as a professional live illustrator for 10 years, taking all of that information and allowing people to give them the skills to be able to draw their own notes and benefit from the value of drawing your own notes. So whether you're in a meeting or you're learning something or you're listening to a podcast or whatever it is, however you're taking in information or you're trying to think about your own stuff, how you can combine words in something really easy to draw drawings and doodles, and how you can put things to paper to help yourself think.
It's interesting. People don't really think about like trying to process and understand the information. Like if you were perhaps in college trying to do lectures or in a professional conference and you need to take notes, what are the benefits to to sketch noting in terms of rather than just having a big slab of messy handwriting? What are the benefits?
Yeah, well, I usually like to say that like most people think in pictures, right? And like YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world for a reason, right? Because we want to see things, and most people have a preference towards seeing or touching or feeling their information in words, right? So if you can take what you're hearing or something that you're trying to figure out and you can put it down in not just words but in pictures, it connects both sides of your brain. It can help solidify that memory retention. And the memory retention part is like one of my most favorite pieces, because you can be taking in information, but if you can't remember it, then you can't put that good work into action. And then what was the whole point? And just doodling alone can help you remember up to 29% more information. So that's why the doodle has gotten such, that's why I'm a bit of a doodling advocate, because it's gotten such a bad rap. It's doing the opposite of what people think. People think it's distracting you, but it's actually helping you stay focused, especially people who are more like neurodivergent learners, people with ADHD, people with differing cognitive abilities and stuff, right? So it also allows people to engage with information in a creative and interesting way that is also feeds our instant gratification, because you can look at a graphic that you've created or something that I've created for you, and you can quickly understand and see the connections and the key messages and the key points that came out of that hour-long presentation or that day-long meeting or what have you. So it's part of my also mission in life is to make meetings less boring. So and more engaging. Yes.
It's interesting because I've got my oldest has just been going through his exams, and I've been trying to teach him how to study, and it's like so there are certain people think that they cannot learn, or they're stupid or whatever, and often it's unlocking some sort of visual clue. And so we started doing all the breaking down the notes in certain ways, and we seem to hit a point where he was able to recall everything. So it's very interesting. How did you get into this niche? Because it is it's very niched. I like it when people have a very niched idea. How did you come up with this?
So I learned about it as a facilitator. So I was facilitating different types of sessions and meetings and strategic planning and things like that. And I was just introduced into the concept of graphic facilitation, where you take this idea of visualizing. Instead of feeding back in words when you're a facilitator, now you can feed back in pictures. And that was 10 years ago. So I've been doing this professionally for 10 years now. Because once I learned it was a thing, I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. So I've really dedicated the last 10 years to building my skills around it, teaching others, building a business. And
how's the response been to this?
I think most people have like a pre and post COVID story, like Chris mentioned. It definitely was like upheaval in our world. But so like before COVID, I was 100% in person on paper with markers, and now I'm mostly digital, virtual. So in terms of like the response, when I'm in person, it's beautiful because I get that like in-person real feedback from people, and then virtually it's still great, but the connection, that there's no like person-to-person connection, so it's not as like I don't get as much feedback from people. But when people experience it, they understand the value even if they can't articulate it. This has been my experience. So and there's like a few common things that people always say to me around how they learn and how they engage with it. But the majority of my work over the last number of years has just been like someone saw me at an event and then they want me to go to their event or their meeting or what have you. So like work, when showing up and doing the work and people experience the value for themselves, that's just what sells it. So so it's been kind of beautiful from that perspective.
Okay, great. And so your clients are mostly like groups and non-profit organizations, and you presenting to a large group. Is that how it works?
My client base is very, very broad. Nonprofits, universities, national or international like associations, medical. I work with like Microsoft and Amazon, like kind of like everybody in between. So I'm not limited to a certain specific industry, which is kind of cool because then I get to learn also about like lots of different things. Like one of my biggest clients is like a cybersecurity training in the US, right? So I get to learn about lots of different things when it comes to all these different industries. And so it's kind of like all over the place, which is really like fun and keeps it challenging for me too.
Excellent. And if you want to check out what Ashton's doing, the best place is sketchnote.school. Is that correct?
Yeah, all things like learning how to sketchnote. I have a community, my book's on there, I have a newsletter, all that good stuff. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So that's great. Check that out. I've put the URL in the show notes. So thanks very much to our wonderful guests, Chris Lautenslager and Ashton Rodenhiser. Thank you.
This was both of you. Thanks for this. Was so fun.
I'm glad you had fun. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for listening and watching, everyone. I'll wrap things up. See you next time. Bye.